Yes, folks, both Australia and New Zealand are effectively police states right now. Now, New Zealand is more of a police state in respect to anyone who opposes Islamic immigration, whereas Australia's police state right now seems to be more in respect to COVID-19. And that young woman who had her 4-year-old child ripped away from her by the police in Sydney a couple of days ago is a classic example of that. This woman was walking with a sign protesting against the lockdown with some other people, and she was arrested for not giving her personal details and for not social distancing properly. Now, I've posted 2 videos of that incident for full context purposes, and hat tip goes to Spitter Stalker and Kiwi Traveller for those videos.
You should be serving the public. You're not serving the public now. You guys took an oath.
Now you can see that this woman is being very, very reasonable indeed.
You took an oath under the constitutional law to defend the public. You're not doing that. You know, I don't know how you guys can go home in honour tonight and try and infringe me with a notice which I don't consent to, because we're doing nothing wrong. You guys should be here holding the signs with us, defending us. So I don't consent to what you're doing.
Look at this.
Okay? I don't consent. We're acting safely here. We're not acting in aggression. So I do not consent to giving my name. There is no name to give. Exactly. Am I under arrest? Am I being detained here?
No, I'm just trying to speak to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So would you like
I'm
to
not
listen?
under arrest, am I?
You are not
I'm not
under
being
arrest.
detained. I'm free to go.
I am asking for your name because I do believe you're committing an offence. Do you understand?
Yeah, what offence? Walking with a sign?
I'm not committing a crime. I'm being detained.
I understand.
Am I being detained? No. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for, I hope that you're all here supporting and caring for us. Maybe you guys can carry a sign too. I'd love to. Okay?
No. I am going to be asking permission to arrest you. Okay?
I do not consent.
I understand. Okay? So do not
Guys,
consent.
it's just people deep down.
So, have a beautiful day.
It's sad when you have to do this.
Thanks very much. It is, because it's our
These guys,
right.
they're doing their jobs and look what they have to be.
Yeah, I have 3 under 6 and this is what I'm teaching them. I go to sleep with honour at the end of the night, with honour knowing that I've defended my rights. I'm here fighting for not just myself and my kids, but for your children too.
That's right.
So, thanks guys, have a good day. I'm going to keep walking. Fantastic. Well, my son's with me. I am not under arrest for anything.
Why is she under arrest?
You need to get why is she under arrest?
Now watch this policewoman here. She is the real aggressor.
Can you grab Victor? Can you grab Victor, please? Immediately. Why is she under arrest?
Come on.
Why is she under arrest?
Now watch this poor kid and what he is going through. It's absolutely disgusting.
Why is she under arrest? Tell me why. Why is she under arrest? Why is she under arrest? Why is she under Prove it. Prove why she's under arrest. Stop. Prove why she's under arrest. Where is the order? You are not going to order. Victor! Why is she under arrest?
Everyone you choose her. You choose her out of everyone. You choose her out of everyone. You choose her.
I'm passing that to her. Why?
She's got a baby. She's got a f***ing baby. You ain't got the baby. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. What are you proving? What are you proving? Look what you're doing, mate.
What has she done? What has she done?
Calm down.
Yeah, this is a nasty piece of work, all right.
What's she under arrest for?
I have nothing to say, dear. You're scaring my son.
What offence has she
Away
done?
from me and my son.
Go girl, you give her heaps.
What offence?
What has she done? Look.
Me and my son.
She hasn't done anything. What has she done?
No,
No, you haven't.
that is his mother. He needs to be with his mother.
Come on.
Guys, just stay back.
I'm listening to you. Give me the kid.
Now you can see the police have the kid here. Now the next video shows the kid being pulled away by the police a lot better.
This is shit. And everybody's a brother woman. Let her go. Let her go. Let her go.
I didn't touch anyone. It's not nothing to You're scaring my son. Move away from me and my son. Move away.
What has she done?
Me
Look.
and my son.
She hasn't done anything. What has she
I've
done?
done nothing wrong.
you
Why
haven't.
are you walking with his son? That is his mother. He needs to be with his mother.
Now watch from here where the police start pulling the kid away. See them pulling away? They're pulling the kid away now. Now that was absolutely sickening. Now speaking of sickening, and hat tip to Blexit Walk Away for the next one.
There have been some startling revelations from a large pile of government documents released this afternoon. Among the thousands of pages, the news that our COVID testing wasn't up to scratch and that we could be facing COVID restrictions for 2 more years. And News Hub can reveal the Prime Minister has gagged her ministers and staff to stop them talking about it. Political editor Tova O'Brien joins us now. Tova, what's going on?
Yeah, Sam, screeds of documents dating back to January and covering almost everything to do with the government's COVID response. And there's some pretty gnarly stuff in here, an admission that the government doesn't really know if people are self-isolating properly or not, that the speed of testing needs to improve, that unions strong-armed the government to increase the amount that employers top up the wage subsidy, despite officials warning the government that to do so would mean more people could lose their jobs. And there's also an acknowledgement from the Prime Minister that we could be in level 3 or 2 for up to 2 years. But
For up to 2 years, you've got to be kidding. This is clearly a communist-style takeover.
one thing that's not in this pile of documents is an email that was leaked to News Hub from the Prime Minister's office to all of her ministers, gagging them from speaking to the media. It says they're only allowed to provide brief written responses to the media, that the Prime Minister would have to approve and sign all of those off. It provides specific talking points to keep her ministers on message. And get this, it even says there is no need to defend the the COVID response. Instead, quote, we can dismiss, and quote, do not put ministers up for interviews on this. And we tested this with the Health Minister, and indeed he refused Newshub's request for an interview. So ultimately, a Friday document dump with zero accountability, a Prime Minister gagging her ministers, and all of this from a government that pays lip service to being open and transparent when really this is about as cynical as it gets.
Wow, she's even gagging her own MPs from being interviewed by her own left-wing media. Yes, it is quite clear to me now that this so-called pandemic is just a ruse for a complete takeover by Jacinda and her comrades. Yes, she is lying through those magnificent teeth of hers.